This executive training seminar is about equipping participants with tools to make sense of China's future, or indeed China's futures, depending on what policy decisions will be made in Beijing over the next few years.
We all know that China recently concluded the 19th Congress of Communist Party. This Congress is very significant because it laid out the main tasks and objectives for the next 30 years for China to achieve full modernization, thereby the rejuvenation of Chinese nation, the Chinese dream. To achieve that, China needs to speed up reform in economic, political, social, cultural, and environment development.
Security, what does it mean? How is it evolving? How do we respond? These are key questions now that are being addressed in Beijing. There is a nexus between security and development, which means there is much more focus on issues such as the environment, on issues such as food security, for example. Ecological security is now central to the Chinese concept of how they think about security today. And we've seen some real shifts in policy in terms of bringing environment into the way in which China responds to many of the challenges around the world. In fact, it is one area where we may be able to see in the future more leadership coming from Beijing.
The Belt and Road Initiative is a very important long-term project that China has undertaken and is closely linked to the Agenda 2030 of the Sustainable Development Goals. The Belt and Road Initiative encompasses the Silk Road, the Maritime Silk Road, as well as the Digital Silk Road. So three aspects that help China to put together modernization with tradition. The impact of the Belt and Road Initiative is very important, not only for China, for which it will give more export markets, will link the culture to the rest of the world, but also to all the countries which are along the road and for other countries, also at the end of the road, the European countries. For the countries along the road, which are developing countries, really the Belt and Road Initiative can trigger growth and help unemployment to decrease.
So the executive training really is about accessing a number of lectures by well-known experts, both from the policy stream and from academia, from China, from the US, from Europe. But it's complemented with a scenario-making exercise at the end that ensures that participants will actually use the knowledge they've acquired to map the futures of China themselves and discuss the potential futures that will arise. We have specifically designed this executive training seminar to make sense of China after and beyond the 19th Communist Party Congress just held in 2017. Most of us observers would agree that this Congress really is not charting China's future for the next 5 years, but really for the next 30 years. And therefore it is high time that policymakers, academics, and just the general public that is interested, including corporations and those in the legal profession, really acquire and stop to think and pause about what China Xi Jinping is currently molding and what implications this will have for Europe and for global governance in general.